Afternoon. Happy So What Day. It is Tuesday, November 15th already. I mean, the days are just flying by. Thanks for joining me a little bit later on today's So What. Normally we meet here at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, but today we're just meeting a little bit later, so thanks for that. It's a chilly day here in Colorado. We've got snow. I'm all bundled up in my coat again. I think they call this a coat again, coat/cardigan. Anyways, I hope that you're staying warm and are ready to learn something new today. Before we get started on today's fun tutorials, I want to let you all know we have a great sale happening right now at sulky.com. It is a buy two, get one sale on our king spools of rayon and poly deco thread. So, if you are a machine embroiderer or a quilter, now is the time to stock up on these great types of thread for your sewing room. All right, so this sale is only valid for 3 days, so it will be ending on the 17th at midnight Pacific time. So take advantage of this really, really great sale that we have right now. Also, some other business items, I guess. On every So What, we give away a really great sort of door prize to one lucky viewer who is watching, sharing, commenting on the live post. And today's, whoops, that's not today's freebie. No. Today's is our Santa Sayings machine embroidery collection. I'm going to be talking about this a little bit later on today's episode. But we have this Santa Sayings machine embroidery collection available as a machine embroidery collection, or you can also get it as a machine embroidery palette. When you purchase a palette, that means it comes with all the thread that you need to stitch out these designs in your embroidery machine. So I'm going to be showcasing some of these designs a little bit later on because the theme of today's episode is crafty Santas. So we're going to be talking about creating some fun Santa ornaments, as well as using our Santa Sayings machine embroidery designs for a few other projects as well. So as long as you are commenting, liking, sharing, engaging with the post today, you will be automatically eligible to win the Santa Sayings machine embroidery collection. And I will pick a winner in about 24 hours. So one of you could be a lucky winner today. All right. Also, before we get started, you may be looking at my beautiful Smith organizers. This is a brand new Sally Tomato pattern. And this butterfly design is courtesy of Embroidery Library and Urban Threads. I also have another version of the Smith organizer done with decorative stitching. And you might be asking, how do I get this pattern? How do I get these designs? Well, I mentioned this last week, but I wanted to let you all know in case you missed last week's episode that we are doing another New Year's Eve sew along with Sally Tomato. This will be the third New Year's Eve sew along that we've done with Sally Tomato, and every year, Sally Tomato releases a brand new pattern for the event. And this year, we're also partnering with Embroidery Library and Urban Threads to bring you a collection of embroidery designs that are sized and digitized specifically for this event. So, some of these designs might look familiar if you are already fans of Urban Threads and Embroidery Library, but the good folks there have helped digitize these so that they will work nicely with the faux leather. So if you already have some of these designs in your account over there at Urban Threads and or Embroidery Library, these designs are a little bit less dense and they're going to work with the fabric much, much nicer. They also digitized a special design just for this event as well. I put mine on the inside, and it's called Enjoy the Journey. This is one of the insides of the bag. Nice zippered pouch to hold your tech accessories, sewing supplies, that type of thing. It's Enjoy the Journey. And it's in two colorways because Sally Tomato is offering this kit in 2 colorways. So we've got this beautiful teal blue ocean harbor. I forget the actual names of the colors. And then there's also this lovely brown version. And this is our non-embroidery option. So if you don't have an embroidery machine, you can still join us on New Year's Eve for the sew along. And I'm going to show you how to add some really cool stitches to the flap of your bag. You can add decorative stitches on the little strap. You can add stitches on the inside. There's various places. When you open up your organizer all the way, you'll see card pockets. You can use this even as like a wallet or for your passport. These hold cards and pens and not cards, cords and pens, your headphones, things like that. It's just a great travel accessory. There's also a fold-over elastic piece here, so you could put a notebook or journal inside. And there is a padded pocket right in here, so you can store an 11-inch tablet or smaller. So this is a really cool travel organizer. Or, use it to organize any number of things. Paintbrushes, sewing supplies, toiletries, things like that. So this is going to be a really fun sew along. It'll be 4 hours long on New Year's Eve. Here's a little bit more about the pattern. Again, it is called the Smith Organizer. And when you register for our New Year's Eve sew along event, you will get the pattern absolutely for free. You will also get the embroidery designs absolutely for free. It's almost a $40 value in digital products once you register for the event. So it's a great, great value. You're getting a lot out of it, not to mention the 4-hour event where Sally Tomato's very own Jessica Barrera will take you through the organizer pattern from start to finish, and I will be teaching you the embroidery and the decorative stitching. So a super fun time. If you've never joined us for New Year's Eve in the past, now is the time to sign up. It's a really, really fun time. Again, we will start at 12 p.m. noon Eastern time. It's kind of like a noon Year's Eve party. And we will sew our way until about 4 p.m. Eastern time. If you can't join that day, or you can't join for the entire time, you should still register, because just like all of our virtual events, once the sew along is finished at 4 p.m., the event will revert to an on-demand format. So you will be able to go to the event page in your personal library at sewingonline.sulky.com, locate the event, and watch it in its entirety. You can fast forward, rewind, you can pause certain parts, catch up on your sewing, play again. You can review any of the information at any time after the event. So it's a really, really great platform. If you haven't joined us for a video cast, webcast, sewing session, or special event, please, please be sure to sign up for New Year's Eve. Get a taste of our events on there, and you'll absolutely love it. Debbie is saying this will make a great gift. This is a wonderful project to gift to someone, whether they are in college, a teacher, any gender, right? This is perfect for a man or a woman. The brown or the teal color, all of the embroidery designs coordinate with either colorway as well. So if you head on over to register, you'll see all the other embroidery designs you can choose from once you register for the event. And I hope you will all join us on New Year's Eve. All right. So today, like I said, we're celebrating Santas. And I have a really great project. If you're about to have some kids underfoot for Thanksgiving break, it's a really great idea to have something crafty for them to do. Keep their hands busy and teach them something along the way. Also, this isn't just for kids. This is a really fun project for anyone to do. And these also make great gifts, place cards. You could put one at everybody's table at your holiday feast along with their silverware, and makes a really, really cute keepsake ornament as well. All right. Actually, I forgot one thing. Speaking of Thanksgiving, I did want to mention that we have this really great quick and easy project that you can create before Thanksgiving next week. These are little cutlery pockets, and they're designed by Sweet Pea Embroidery. If you grab up this thread palette at sulky.com, you will get this In the Hoop project absolutely for free, and these threads coordinate with the design. So you can grab this up. It'll arrive, as long as you are in the US, I would imagine it would arrive before Thanksgiving, and you could create these in the hoop for everybody that's coming on over to your house, perhaps for Thanksgiving. All right, I wanted to mention that because it's also on sale right now, so it's a good deal. Okay, back to our cutie little Santa ornaments. Now, these were designed by Heidi Pridemore. She is a great quilter. You can Google her. She has a lot of quilting projects, and she's just a great human as well. So she designed these using Sulky Felty and Sulky Filaine. If you are a fan of So What, you have heard me talk about Sulky Filaine Thread over and over again because it's so cool. It's a 100% acrylic thread, and it's a 12-weight thread. So you can brush it and fluff it up using our Filaine wire brush. So it's great for Santa beards. And Heidi kind of took it a step further and basically made like a tassel out of the Filaine thread, and then made it into these super adorable Santa and elf ornaments. So I'm going to show you exactly how they come together. This just shows that you don't have to have an embroidery machine to get these fun thread effects. Even though Filaine thread is really great for hand embroidery and machine embroidery, you can also use it for crafty things. And our Sulky Felty is such a great substrate for crafts. It comes in rainbow packs, heather packs, and neutral packs. And if you grab up the rainbow pack, you can use it for this project. And then you'll have some felty colors left that are perfect as we head into springtime as well. So again, these make great crafts for kids. They will love putting this together. Even if you are having a Friendsgiving, let's say, having some friends over, this kind of gives you all something to do, either before or after the meal. And it's just fun to get the whole family involved. And they can even personalize the little hats with their names or monograms, use some fabric pens or fabric paint. So many different ways to personalize this and make it your own. All right, so I also wanted to mention, along with the Felty and the Filaine, you will need some jingle bells, because we're going to hide a little jingle bell up in that Filaine tassel, and the little Santa is going to jingle all the way. How cute, right? So some jingle bells, some string or twine to hang your ornament. Let's see, some pom-poms, of course, for the noses and the tips of the hat. Some craft glue or glue stick. If you have a glue gun, it's really great for this. You can also do some hand sewing, but you will ultimately want a little dab of glue here and there. Small scissors and a marking pen. So the full instructions for this project are on our blog at blog.sulky.com. I also linked directly to the tutorial on our blog in the description of today's post. So you will be able to get all the instructions, step-by-step photos, and all that good stuff right on the blog, so you don't have to take notes while you're watching me here today. And on the blog post, you will also find some templates, some pattern templates that you will want to use for your little hats and portions of the hat embellishments. So you'll want to head on over to the blog to grab up the templates. So first things first, we're going to mark all of our pattern pieces onto the Felty and carefully cut them out. And you will love working with this Felty. It's so much different than that craft felt that you buy at the fabric store or craft store. It has such a nice hand to it. It's really buttery and soft, and it's not overly expensive like, for example, wool felt would be. So it's really great for these crafty projects. All right, so then you're also going to cut out some little hats out of your green felt. The green felt is for the elves, of course. The red felt is for the Santa. You could certainly have your guests or whoever you're teaching, if you decide to do this as a group craft, pick the hat color that they want for their little elf or Santa or gnome, whatever twist you want to put onto it. And then we are going to thread our jingle bell onto our piece of twine, or cording would even work for this, a very small diameter cording. So thread your jingle bell and you will put it along the center of your length of cording. And that's what we're going to hide inside of our little Santa beard or gnome beard or elf beard, whatever. All right, so Heidi used 2 different colors of Filaine and wrapped those around her hand just like we're making a yarn pom-pom, right, or tassel. But we're going to be using the Filaine thread and loads of it. And it makes for a really nice, fine, wispy beard, but you can also brush it and fluff it up a little bit because that Filaine thread will bloom with that wire brush. So the 2 threads, the 2 colors of thread here, kind of give it a little bit more dimension. So if you want to just use 1 thread color, that is fine, but I really like that look of the 2 colors, the off-white and the white Filaine threads. So wind that around your hand. You can see, just keep on going. Make it really nice and fluffy and big. And then you're going to stick that piece of cording or twine into your thread loops, right? And you're going to nestle that little jingle bell in between. So now your thread loops are going around the center and your little jingle bell is kind of hidden up there underneath all of those threads. And don't worry about hiding it too much because our little hat is going to conceal that whole thing. So you just want to make sure that it's in the center of all of those thread loops. And there you can see it a little bit better. Now you'll remove your hand so you have lots and lots of thread going around that little jingle bell. And now you're going to tie your twine or your cording around to secure the top of that, those thread loops that are going around the jingle bell. Then you're going to trim the opposite end. So now you've got all your fringe and the top of your loops are nice and secure within that knot. It's coming together. We've got a beard, see? Now you can kind of just use your hands and kind of brush them so they're nice and flat. Everything is nice and even. And now we're going to start building our Santa hat. So you'll take that little scallopy triangle and put the point along your cording. All right, and you've kind of centered it there. Now you're going to fold that around to make your cone for the Santa hat. Super simple, very, very easy. All right, so now we've got the cone and you're going to kind of slide it down over your thread. Well, actually, I guess we're not sliding it down quite yet, but you need a little dab of glue. Or like I said, you could also hand sew that, just a little whip stitch right there to secure your little felt cone. And now we're going to just kind of trim that off so it's nice and even. There we go. Now we can move our little hat down over the top of our jingle bell and that Filaine thread. And you're going to repeat this for your little elves as well. So now we get to embellish our hat, and there are templates included as well for some holly berries, a little scalloped edge, but you could certainly use any embellishments you want. Dive into your button stash, get some sequins, put some beads on here. It is Christmas time and you can do all the embellishments you want or no embellishments at all. So it's entirely up to you how much you want to do here. And it's so fun to grab these little bits and baubles though and watch the kids kind of go crazy picking out things that they want to embellish their little hats with. So if you are using those templates, here's kind of what they look like. This is the scallop edge for the Santa hat. So you'll use a piece of white felty and cut a little scalloped edge, making the opposite edge straight across. And then you're just going to start gluing that to the lower edge of your hat. Super, super simple. Again, you could hand sew this, a little blanket stitch along the edge if you want it looking really crafty, or you could simply glue it and make it really, really easy. And then just trim that where it meets so that the edges abut. And there you have your little trimmed Santa hat. Super cute. Now we've got to add his little nose. And how cute is the pink pom-pom? Because, you know, he's got rosy cheeks and probably a rosy nose. And then you're going to add your little pom-pom at the top of his little hat. Very cute. And now you get to embellish your elves. So for this, like I mentioned, on your template, you'll find some little holly leaves, some berries. You can create some strips to trim your elf hats. So entirely up to you again. And here are just some ideas for using those different templates to decorate your little gnome hats or your elf hats. I keep wanting to call it a gnome because it certainly could double as a gnome. Then you add your little noses and you add your little pom-poms at the top, and you have your absolutely adorable Christmas ornaments or gift tags or place card little accoutrements at your holiday table. So, so cute. Everyone will love making these. Now at this point, you can leave the beards as is, super cute. Or like I said, you could brush them a little bit with your Filaine wire brush. This is at sulky.com, and it really has the perfect brushes to fluff up that Filaine thread. You want to go in one direction, especially on these beards, so that you're not snagging anything, and just kind of fluff it up a little bit and make it nice and bushy. So super cute. Is everyone with me? All right, everyone's saying really cute. Great little craft for children to help with. Absolutely. All right, so I also, let's see where I am here. I also wanted to kind of go over some other projects we could do to celebrate Santa and kind of get ready for the holidays. So like I mentioned, I'm showing off our Santa Sayings machine embroidery palette. And I have quite a few projects that I've done using this palette because I absolutely love these designs. So since we're talking about Santa, I thought I would show off our Santa's Sweetie embroidery design. And speaking of making things for kids and involving them in the holidays, this is a really cute way to gift a new baby in your life, or even a toddler or kid who's going to go sit on Santa's lap and get their picture taken. They could have matching shirts. It doesn't have to be on a onesie here. You can even do this on an apron and wear it your own self, right? It doesn't have to be for a kid either. An apron or a top or what have you. We also have these really great blanks at sulky.com, and these are the long sleeve ones that have the elastic at the bottom. And when I was a new mom, I absolutely loved these because you could change the baby without dealing with those snaps on the onesie. And, you know, you didn't have to wake them up very much to do it. So these are those kind of long ones that have the elastic at the bottom. And we do have these at sulky.com. If you search for embroidery blanks, you will find them. So I thought a long sleeve one might be a little bit better, seeing as how we're getting into this super cold weather. But the embroidery tutorial is going to be the same, just instead of unsnapping your onesie to access the front of it for embroidery, you're going to move all of that elastic to create your sort of embroidery tunnel. So I'm going to quickly go over the tutorial for this onesie. In case you've never embroidered something so small before, it can be challenging. And what makes it easier is Sulky Sticky Plus Stabilizer. That is how we are going to attach our onesie and not embroider through the back side of it as well. This is the same tutorial you would use for a t-shirt, whether it is a toddler t-shirt or an adult size t-shirt, because we have to get in there and embroider the front again without embroidering through the back. So first things first, we're going to take our Sticky Plus Stabilizer. This is a tearaway adhesive backed stabilizer, and we're going to hoop it with the paper side facing up. Now we are going to take our Sticky Plus slitting pen, and it's a special tool that only slices through the paper backing of the stabilizer without slicing all the way through it. So if you don't have a Sticky Plus slitting pen yet, put that on your Christmas list, distribute it to the family because you need one in your life. I'm just saying. I use it all the time, and it's the greatest invention. So we're going to score that paper backing to reveal our sticky stabilizer. And you can simply score along one of the lines that is printed on the Sulky Sticky Plus, or you can score just along the inner hoop ring, and that will expose all of the sticky stabilizer. So now you're going to peel that paper backing off, revealing your sticky stabilizer. And now we are going to, oh, there it is, all off and ready to go. Now we're going to mark where we want our embroidery to go. So be sure you consult your color sequence chart for the design that you've chosen for your onesie or t-shirt or what have you. And you're going to make sure that it's, first off, going to fit along the front of the shirt, that it's not too large for something like a onesie. And secondly, we're going to mark our center cross mark just using a removable fabric pen of some sort. And if you have a placement technique that works for you that you love, by all means, if you use a little placement sticker, or maybe you have a computer or a camera on your embroidery machine, that type of thing, do what works for you. So now we are going to place our onesie onto the sticky part of our stabilizer, centering up those center cross marks with the markings on our hoop. So make sure that your hoop is oriented properly so that, sometimes I'll put my inner hoop ring on and it's upside down. Well, that's going to, it's going to place my hoop markings at the wrong place. I don't know why I'm having trouble communicating this today. So you want to make sure that your hoop is oriented properly so that you're reading everything right side up. That'll make sure that your markings are in the right place if you're using those for your perfect placement. So we'll turn our onesie wrong side out so that we can access that right side in the hoop. So when you turn it wrong side out, now only our right side will be on the hoop. The wrong side of the onesie will be facing us. Does that make sense? And we're going to sort of embroider blindly. That's kind of what I call it, because you're embroidering basically in this tunnel or in this tube of fabric. And sometimes you're not going to be able to see where the needle is going. So you'll need to be able to stop and start your machine, relatively quickly. If you notice that it's moving and a portion of your onesie or your t-shirt is going to get caught in the stitching, I just kind of sit there with my fingertip right on the stop and start button. And that way, when my embroidery arm or the hoop goes and moves to a different portion of the design, I can quickly stop it and kind of maneuver that part of the fabric away from the stitching and then start again and continue along in the design. You just want to make sure that you're not stretching any part of the onesie while you are doing that. So just gently kind of move the excess fabric out of the way, leaving everything that's stuck to the stabilizer nice and secure. All right, so now we can go ahead and begin our embroidery design. And the portion of Santa's is going to stitch out first. So here you can see we're beginning the design. And I just used Sulky 60 weight bobbin thread here in a white color that matches my onesie or t-shirt, what have you. So here's our finished design, and you can see that portions of the design you cannot see right now. That's because they moved into an area where I had to stop the machine, move the excess fabric out of the way, continue the design, and so forth. Is everybody with me? Okay. So now this is a special thing you need to do when you're embroidering on t-shirts, especially baby garments, things that might be scratchy on the wrong side when worn, or even scratchy on the wrong side if you're lining it with a specialty fabric, something like that. This also kind of seals in the back of those stitches. It is called Sulky Tender Touch. Tender Touch is a permanent, fusible, very lightweight stabilizer that we're going to use as a backing for the embroidery that stays with the onesie over time. If you've ever purchased a onesie, and I mean, most of us, I think, probably have, you'll notice this material is on the back of the onesie. So we are just doing that exact thing to not only make sure it doesn't scratch the wearer, but it also contributes to the longevity of the garment. So over washings, multiple wearings, which you know a onesie is going to get washed a ton, it's going to make sure that that embroidery stays nice and intact. So I like to cut Tender Touch with a scalloped edge scissor. If you happen to have a pinking shears, that works great too. It just makes sure that, you know, a onesie is very, very stretchy. All of these knit t-shirts are very stretchy. When you pink the edges or use a scalloped edge scissor, it's just going to move with the garment a little bit better than a straight cut. It also looks nicer from the right side if you have something a little bit sheerer. It's not going to really show through as much as like a blunt edge would on your stabilizer. So we're going to cut that to size, just a little bit larger than the embroidery, using a scalloped edge or a pinking shears, and place it over the back of the embroidery. Make sure that the fusible side is facing the embroidery so that you don't gum up your iron. And then you're just going to fuse it in place in an up and down motion. You don't want to go back and forth because the fusible can kind of release and start moving around. So fusing means an up and down motion with your iron. Ironing means a back and forth motion with your iron. Okay, so now that we've got our Tender Touch in place, we're done. And just like that, we've got a great little gift for a new baby, for a toddler, for even a mom, an aunt, a grandma. Put it on an apron, put it on a t-shirt. You can have a great family photo opportunity. And it's just adorable if you have little ones going to visit Santa and they're wearing Santa's sweetie onesies. Like, I can't even. Thinking about it, I want to see everyone's photos. All right, just some other projects that I've made with the Santa's Sayings machine embroidery collection. Here is a tea towel. Now, I used a tea towel blank. We also have these at sulky.com. Blanks are such lifesavers for holiday gift giving, especially if you have a group of people that you're making gifts for. You can grab up this machine embroidery collection and stitch a different design on each tea towel and give basically the same gift to everyone, but they're all getting it a little bit different. They're all getting a different take on it, right? A different design. So it makes it easier on you. You can do kind of assembly line embroidery and then give everybody kind of the same thing, package it up with a cute little rolling pin or a set of cookie sheets or cookie cutters, things like that, and just kind of wrap it up all together in a gift. Now this tea towel, I started with the blank, I did the embroidery, then I added some fabric trim to the bottom edge of the towel, just to kind of dress it up a little bit more. I even put a little faux piping edge and inserted that into the seam as well. So just kind of dressing up the towel, and you can dive into your fabric stash because you only need a 2 or 3 inch strip, maybe even a 6 inch strip if you want to kind of line it, and you're done. And you're using up your fabric stash, and it's a win-win, and you have the cutest little gift. Also, this is one of my favorite designs in the collection. It's called No Peeking, and it's so cute to make this cute little sign, if you will. It's like a quilted sign. It's about the size of a pot holder, really. And I threaded it on some felt pom-pom garland, and then I put the garland around the tree, but I hang this on the lower edge. So when you're putting your little gifts under the tree, you have this cute little sign that says, no peeking. Adorable. Or you could create some gift tags, things like that, or hang this by the stockings on your mantle. And really, really cute design. The gift tag portion of this design is an applique that's done in the hoop. So it's just a little piece of fabric that you will lay down in the process while you're going through the embroidery design. So just some ideas that you can use when you are, oh my gosh, I keep going back to this wrong image. I'm so sorry. There we go. Just some project inspiration for you when you're grabbing up your Santa Sayings machine embroidery collection. Or again, this comes as a machine embroidery palette as well. So when you grab up a palette, you'll get 10 spools of Sulky rayon thread, and the 6 design collection will be included with your purchase. So you save a little bit of money and get all the threads when you're grabbing up a palette versus grabbing up just the embroidery collection on its own. But either way, you can also grab up these designs individually. If one is speaking to you more than the other, you can simply grab up that design and just have fun with it. The collection includes all 6 designs in 3 sizes. So you don't have to worry about getting the small size for the onesie, the medium size for your toddler t-shirts, and the large size for the parents, etc. You will get all 3 sizes in, all 6 designs in 3 sizes. So it's a great deal. All right, so that is our Crafty Santas. I hope that you all enjoyed the projects today. Let me just see if we have any questions we need to address. Let's see. Everyone's saying, I need to make one. Great inspiration. Very cute. Carrie says, sorry to be late. Hope I don't get a detention. No detention here. We're all having fun. Jennifer says, I have the Santa Saying thread palette, but haven't used it yet. Well, now is the time, and we can get a little ahead of it, It seems like the holiday items are hitting the shelves quicker and quicker, sooner and sooner every year. But I feel like I say that every year, so maybe I'm just not anticipating it. It did help that it was snowing today. I just kind of got into the spirit of, all these Santa projects. So for me, it was appropriate. I don't know about all of you because I know we come from all over, and some of you probably live in very sunny climates while I am bundling up in my coat again. Okay. Oh, Jennifer says, when I went to the blog, the template only has the hat, not the hat borders. Thank you for saying that, because while I was saying it, I was thinking to myself, did she include those holly leaves and stuff? I don't think so. If you go into the instructions, though, she talks about cutting that scallop border, and I believe includes the dimensions. But you really could cut out any cute little things from your felt to embellish your hat with. And if you find cute little holiday themed buttons, you could find some buttons that are in the shape of holly and put those on your little felt. So lots of different ways to think about those embellishments. All right, but thanks for letting me know. I did misspeak there. Oh, the holly leaves are there. Oh, okay. Great. Just not the little border strips. I think because probably those are really just strips of felt, and then on the one, you'll create that scalloped edge if you want it to look, you know, different for the Santa. All right. Thank you for letting me know. Very cute. Love it. Thank you, Darlene. All right. Well, as we move forward and, you know, next week is Thanksgiving and we've got so many holiday fun home decor, gift ideas, even wearables coming up on the Sulky blog and in our newsletter and here on So What. So be sure to keep tuning in. Next Tuesday, we will have another great tutorial in store for all of you. So I appreciate you joining today and make sure, ooh, everybody's comments just populated all at once. So now I can see them all. Okay. Oh, 85 degrees, Lori. Oh, Sandy says you can use rickrack too. I love all those little crafty things. Rickrack, pom-pom fringe, all of the great little embellishments. Ribbon would also work along your little hats. So now's the time to kind of dive in, see what you have on hand. If you have a button jar, now is the time to use it. I know a lot of us have these button jars and we hardly ever open them. They almost become these decorations in our sewing room because we forget to go in there and see what we have on hand. So now is the time. All right, Leslie also has snow. And yes, you know I love some pom-poms. Okay. All right, again, be sure to go over and register for our New Year's Eve event. I want to be sure that you all get your kits on time too. Sally Tomato is fulfilling the kits for this event, and they have recommended that you order, I believe, by November 30th, or maybe it's December 10. Sorry, I don't know. Consult sallytomato.com for your kits for this event, but be sure to go and register. I put the link to register in the description of today's post, along with the link for our Santa ornament tutorials and everything that I talked about today. So you can head on over to sulky.com and start browsing and making your must-make lists as we head into Thanksgiving week and everything holiday related. Yay, good times. All right, well, thanks everybody for joining me today, and tune in next week for another So What. Have a crafty day and bundle up and stay warm, and I'll see you next Tuesday.